Hello, my lovelies, and welcome back to my channel. I am Miss Teacher, and today's video will be about how to teach writing practice to your students. So when I was in the talk program, the teach and learn program, during our orientations, we had other ESL or teaching English as a second language teachers come in and tell us how we want to do our writing practice. So the main thing that they said was that you want to take away a word or you want to take away a sentence. And we do exactly this in my school right now that I'm working at. We do exactly this, but it gradually gets harder and harder and harder to test the students' memory on the learned phrase that we learn and the vocabulary. So it's testing their memories with spelling. Do they remember the learned phrase? Do they remember the order of it? Do they remember the vocabulary and where the vocabulary should go and how to spell the vocabulary? So this is all a challenge for them. The main thing you want to do is to not bring in new sentences. So for example, if your subject or your main sentence is, what do you want to do at the circus? You need to make sure that your sentences revive from their speaking practice, the main course. I want to see a lion at the circus. So you need to make sure that it is the same sentence that they speak when they're learning the phrase during speaking practice time. Okay, you want to make sure it is the same. You're not bringing in new words, you're not bringing in new phrases. It is the exact same phrase. And you might think, hey, that's a bit easy. They're gonna go back and they're gonna be able to write all that down. We would hope so, but it's not that easy. They do mess up with spelling, but very much they will mess up what should go there. They would know the word but not the spelling, or they might confuse the structure, the order that the words should go. So if they do, you just have them, if they mess up on this, just have them write the sentence correctly underneath one more time. They should do it slow and neatly. If not, make them write it again. If they write sloppy, make them write it again and tell them to write neat. Pretty writing, pretty writing. So this is for my students who have learned English for at least 1.5 years. They have not learned English for just 1 year. They have learned it for 1.5 years. They have to have at least that half to be able to start writing sentences, because the students who have only been learning English for a year at this point are your second to the lowest babies, and they need to focus on reading. They don't need to focus on writing. They need to focus on phonics, and they need to focus on reading phonics. Yes, they will be doing a little bit of writing towards the phonics area, but that is okay, and that is for spelling using the phonics rules to get them used to the phonics rules and get them to remembering the phonics rules. That's okay. This writing practice is teaching the kids about the learned phrase, how to write, how to understand it, the structure of a sentence, and spelling. So all this is totally different, and it should be for your students who have been learning English for at least 1.5 years. So when you make this, you can literally write this on your whiteboard. You can write all the sentences on your whiteboard. Say, 1, I want to, and leave blanks like I've left lines right here. You can leave lines like this on your whiteboard. You don't have to make a worksheet like this, print it out, and then hand it out to the students. Let them bring their own English notebook that they should designated have for your class. And when they pull it out, whether you take it up at the end of the day and give it back to them, or which I do suggest, or they take it home and they bring it back, whatever it is, they should have their own paper. You can write this on the board and they will need to answer it. Do not let them look at the answers. If they have the answers written down somewhere, they should not be looking at the answers. This writing practice is to test their knowledge. It is not for them to copy and paste. Copy and pasting is not how we learn. Testing our knowledge and our understanding is how we learn, and that is what writing practices is doing. So you want to have something like this where it gradually just gets harder and harder over time, where they have to just fill in all by themselves with little little to zero help. Then for part B, you can add part B on if you want to. If you don't want to add part B on there, you don't have to, but it's just getting them used to answering the question. And I added the at the circus randomly. But if it's just getting them used to answering questions instead of just writing statements. Now we're answering the question. What is the question you should be saying? What should you be saying right here? It's testing whether or not they actually understand the question that has been asked to them, or in this case, written to them. So if you want to add this little bit at the bottom, you can. You don't have to. Again, you can use your whiteboard with this. You don't have to print these sheets, make these sheets and print it out. That would take up more time, I think. Just for your safety, as writing practice is happening, you can write it on the board and have them do it one by one. So how do you teach this? The very first time that I teach this, the very first lesson that I teach, we go through this together. I will pick one kid and say, read please, and they will say, I want to see the lions, okay? Then I will ask them, what's missing? What alphabet is missing? What's missing? They'll say T. I'll say, what's missing? They'll say E. And then in a different color, you can write the missing letters. But they should have already done this. And then you do it. Does that make sense? Like, their pencils should be down and their attention should be on you when you're going through this. They should not be writing. Don't let anybody write, because they, like I said, this is testing their knowledge. They should not be copying. Their pencils should be down and they should be focusing on you. So you can write it in a different color right here, then call the next kid to do this one. To read this one, call the next kid to read this one, call the next kid to read this one. And then you will say, what's missing? What word is this? They'll say to, spelling T-O. What word is this? The or the, spelling T-H-E. You write it in a different, you write it in a different color pen. Once you have finished going through all of this and asking like 4 kids what is missing, what should go here, and writing it in a different pen, erase the answers and then tell them, hey, start please, and they will have to start on their own without the answers. I do that the very first time. The very first time. I may do it the second time we have to do writing practice. By the third time, I'm like, go. Let's start. Let's go. You would do it on your own. I have already taught you how you are going to do this. So now you're going to do it without my help. Now you're going to focus on being an independent student and learning independently. And I will have a video on that, how independent learning is better and greater for students than dependent learning. And I actually did a research project on my students to see, does independent learning make them stronger? And it has. And when I'm finished writing the thesis paper on that, I will link it in a video for you guys to check out. So then you'll teach them how to do this too. And then when it's time, you'll just write the answer again so you guys can check it. So when you guys are finished with everything, you will write the answers again and then you will check it. But the second or the third time you guys go through this, make the kids say, hey, let's go. And they should be writing and doing this on their own. And then when you check, you will check it like we did when you first was showing them how to do it. You'll get one kid to read it, say, what's missing? T. What's missing? E. And then you'll write the answer down. Then have another kid read the second sentence. I want to see the bears. Okay. What's missing? W-A. What's missing? I. What's this? The. Spelling T-H-E. What's missing? R. So you're going to do that all the way through when you're checking your answers. And then you're going to write in a different color pen if you have to. If not, the same one should be fine. But write in a different color so they can check their answers. if they have written the answers incorrectly, they need to write it one more time underneath the answer, and it should be all of it. Even if they just put an A right here instead of an E, they need to rewrite the whole sentence. The whole sentence. I make them rewrite the whole sentence for their benefit. That goes on to B2. They write all of the sentences down. Okay, so if you don't typically like this worksheet, or you don't see how this is benefiting your students, you can always go on to Google and you could Google ESL writing worksheets, and you can scroll through here and find some worksheets that best fits your class. Okay, you can also don't be afraid to put the grade in here to see this one has for adults or for children or for third grade, for fourth grade. You're going to want to put that in there, and then you will pick whichever worksheet works best for your class, and you will teach them how to do it, and then after a while you will say, go. Just do this on your own. Okay? So that is it for writing practice. I hope you stay tuned, and later on I will post more videos that I hope is helpful for you when you're teaching your class. And as always, stay blessed. Thank you for watching.